Okay, so good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining in this morning on the June area Q&A school for supervisors only. Hi, Harry. Good morning. So I know that all of you have already began or already have finished your mini schools. Thank you. Continue if you have not. The purpose of this meeting this morning will take up to 2 hours is to go over materials, assignments, to go over CAPI, and any issues that have arisen or may arise in your data collection efforts. So there's no real agenda this morning other than to answer your questions, because I know all of you are seasoned and you know all about June area and what we have to do in the short period of time that we have to collect data. So before we start with materials, does anybody have any comments or questions they want to bring up now before we start talking about your assignments and materials? All right, so I'm assuming no questions or comments right now. So what I'm going to do, based on the memo that was sent to everyone, I can't assume that everybody has completed mini schools, but I'd like to ask, has all enumerators assigned to June area, have they been able to watch the training videos? And if so, have they taken the quiz, and have you taken accountability on those quiz and how the enumerators success on answering those questions? We'll start with my to the right. We'll start with Bill. Bill, so how did, I think you're unmute. Okay, hold on a second. Let me unmute you there.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, my enumerators are just getting their materials, so no, I have not done the enumerator school, but I have reviewed the manual and the videos and the quiz.
So so I'm assuming, based on your answers, that your enumerators have not watched the videos.
At this point, as of this morning, they have not.
Okay. All right, next, Harry, how about you? Has your enumerators have seen the videos, and if so, have they taken the quiz?
I'm sorry. Good morning, Dennis. I just got the assignment yesterday or day before, and really, I don't think they've seen it. And we're going to have a mini school Monday or Tuesday next week, so we'll follow up on that.
Okay. All right, moving on to Jessica.
Yes, we watched the videos. We took the tests. They have their manuals. They haven't read them, but I would say those quiz was very vague. They weren't complete sentences. I don't know if it was supposed to trick people up, but I thought they were pretty unprofessional personally. So that's my personal opinion of it. No, because they were very vague. They were not complete things. So, I mean, if it was meant to trick you up to see if you were really paying attention to the video, sure. But if you were trying to gain some information out of it, I think they were very vague questions. They weren't complete questions. And I don't think there was really any benefit from them because there weren't learning questions.
There were only 3 questions, but I'm glad that you brought that up. So,
well, there was 4, but yeah.
4? Okay. Questions big. Let's see. All right. Anything else on the videos?
No, it was good to see Kim up there. So, no, I mean, I think they were good, but the point is we didn't get we didn't get our materials before any of this. And, we should have had our manuals and everything before we started watching the videos and having all our materials at once.
And that's the yes, I totally agree. But the issue with that was that not everything had come into the RFO or the office, so we couldn't package everything as soon as we could or wanted to. We were
Well,
waiting
but
for label
maybe I guess that
questionnaires.
should have been like in an email to address it so we knew what the program was,
Yeah, that's why I had put on the bulletin, if on the bulletin under the June area that when the materials were gonna be mailed out, when you can expect them and when they were mailed out.
I know, but I've been
Unfortunately,
doing this for 14 years, Dennis, and we've never we have to it
Understood.
has to be a group, just like when we do arms, anything. This is a big project and all the materials have to be together so it's a complete, training.
Got it. All right, noted. Okay, moving along, Kim, thank you for being a part of the testimonial video. What do you comment you have about the videos and your enumerators?
The
Are you
videos were
there?
good. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm here. My enumerators wish they would have had a blank copy of the survey before they started watching them. It's really hard to watch those if you don't have the material in front of you. So as far as I know, they have all done it, the quiz. And I'm in agreement with Jessica. It was the timing of all this was just, I wish I would not have scheduled my group meeting on Tuesday. I wished I would have waited for next week to have all my material. That's all I got.
Okay. Moving on to Jerry.
Hi, Dennis. Yeah, no, I have not reviewed those quizzes and the materials, but I did tell my group to take a look at them, and I haven't followed up to see if they completed the quiz, so that's where I stand.
Okay. Thank you, Jerry. Moving on to Pat.
I had the mini school yesterday. Luckily, I had received the packets and the maps. And so we did have the questionnaire, and I did it at the library. So I was able to show certain ones of the videos that I thought were important because I knew I didn't have enough time to show the whole videos. And some of them had watched them and some had not. And we talked about the test, and I agree with Jessica. I really didn't even encourage them to complete it, truthfully.
Okay.
And on when they took out the sections L and O, they're still covered in the videos. They're still talking about them in the videos. So I had to caution them, and as we went through the survey, I pointed out, where they were missing. I didn't want them to get, to section and L and was in the survey. They're
section in L and O.
Yes, they're not in the survey.
Okay, gotcha.
But they are covered on the video.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, thanks. Thank you. Okay, moving on to Carrie.
Hey guys, so I had pushed our mini school to next week because last week's training was canceled, so I didn't want to do it with my team without having at least attended this meeting. My team has been instructed to watch the videos and take care of the test. Those links were sent to them about a week and a half ago. So I believe that they took care of that last week. Now, I haven't followed up with them to make sure that they did so, but that is what my email instructed them to do. And that is all.
All right, thank you, Carrie. Moving on to Janice.
Okay, I'm unmuted now. My experienced people have all watched the videos, and doing it before, it was okay that they didn't have it. I have 2 that I am meeting with. They've supposedly by the end of the day, they're supposed to have watched the videos and taken the test, and then we'll sit down and go over with it. The question I have is, are we able to see if they take the test or not, or we just need to call them and ask them?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull a list of everyone that filled this out.
Do I get in trouble if I haven't done it?
I'll provide you guys the list.
Okay, I'll do mine before you do the list. When are you doing the list?
Probably on the 29th, because enumeration starts on the 30th.
Oh, okay. I just got to make sure I get the test. I read it, but I didn't fill it out.
Yep.
Okay, that's all. I mean, I don't really have any complaints. It worked pretty good, and that like the experienced people, they were like, yeah, it was good. It was a good refresher, even though we knew what we're doing to refresh our brains is good.
So,
So that's-
you mentioned, did you mention that you completed your mini school?
I have people in different areas, so I'm doing them in chunks. So I have one to do tomorrow, and then I have one other boy that's working, but his last final is today. So I'll meet with him next week.
Okay, thanks, Janice. Moving
Okay,
on
thank
to
you.
Rita.
Okay,
Hello, Rita.
I'm sorry. I guess we hit the jackpot. All of our material came 2 weeks ago. It's all been distributed to the enumerators. They're seasoned, the enumerators, so everything went very smooth. As far as the test, if everyone will look, the answers are on. You have to look around a little bit. I've been doing this 21 years, and I thought it went pretty darn good. I have no complaints. You and I already talked about the missing map. And that'll be taken care of, you said later, so we're good to go.
All right, good news. Thank you, Rita.
You're welcome.
Let's see. Next, I have Jesus.
I just got on about 5 minutes ago, so I didn't hear the question.
Well, we're initially talking about materials received and mini schools completion along with videos, training videos.
No on the no on the videos right now. I got the box, I'd say 2 days ago, I think. And so I just did the screening, but that's where we're at right now. It should be pretty simple though.
Okay. Do you have any concerns at this point?
No. I just got 2 new ones and they're pretty close by. So
Okay.
that'll kind of be good. That's about it though.
All right. So that's everyone I see so far. So go ahead.
Dennis,
Bill?
Dennis, can I interrupt you a second? I'd like to circle back to my group. Received the material on Monday, sent Monday morning, sent it out Monday afternoon, and some of them did not receive the material until yesterday. So that's why we're a little bit behind. So we'll probably follow up on the schooling early next week. However, one of my enumerators did jump on the quiz, so it's kind of a broken field play here. And she says, question number 1 in the quiz does not match the answer in the video. And other than that, we're sorting out some maps. I think I gave you the latest update on that, and I'm waiting for Frank to give me more information on his maps that he received.
Okay. Thank you, Bill. Hey, John.
Dennis,
Oh, okay. Go ahead, Pat.
okay. I have 4 new ones and 1 that's done them and then 2 that just did them the first time last year. So I didn't go into CAPI posting. I'm going to have another school for that. I felt I needed just to cover the maps and you know, going out. And now do we, because they really stress on the video that you only have the letters on each of the tracks in the segment, do you want those maps cleaned up if they do have other writing on them before we send them back?
Yeah, any you know, the printed maps that's in the envelopes are for your use to mark and then transcribe to the aerial map. They should be updated because we're going to be digitizing those aerial maps at the end of
Okay,
data collection.
then I need more of the white map erasers. I didn't receive
Okay,
any.
Okay. I thought I had sent you a box, but you said you're
No,
going to need more
no,
of the.
I didn't receive any white map erasers.
Dennis, wouldn't acetone or fingernail polish remover, wouldn't a little spot of that work on that plastic map to remove the letter or any markings?
We have those white pens. I'll get them out to everybody, but the supplies that we received was those erasers, and I tested them when I used the pens, the permanent pens, and I tested it, and the permanent markings came out just fine. You just have to, you might end up using the erasers a little bit more than you should, but they do come out. But if you do need the white, that not necessarily, because the way we're going to digitize it, we don't need, that's why we're not sending them out anymore, because those white, all that does is cover what you put on there, and that's not going to be something that's going to be needed to be on when we do the digitization process later. So I would just say that the erasers what we send out, I can send out some more if you need more, but it will take a few, you know, back and forth to get those markings off those maps. But they do.
Okay,
work.
thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay, so we're done with the initial questions and issues and stuff. Does anybody, before I maybe hand it over to Juan for any remarks he has and moving on, does anybody else have any comments, questions regarding materials, mini school? Okay. So Juan, do you want to continue with questions about CAPI?
Sure, let me try to move this. Okay. Let me see if I can minimize this thing. Okay, so the first thing is we had some problems with the what do you call it? Enumerator assignments being moved, and we tried to recreate what we had sent you to your listings. So I would like for you to verify that every segment that was included on your listing it's something that you have on your copy to start with. So
I
you-
did not get a listing.
Okay. So that,
The listing, the segment listing should have been either in the map box or in the box that you received all the envelopes.
Nope.
Hey,
Okay.
hey Dennis, this is John. So when Bonnie and I were putting some stuff together, I mean, we might have missed the listings and I don't know if Bonnie knew she needed to throw those in with it. Can we print the listings out one more time? Or were those listings from before everything got overridden?
Those listings was the listing based on um, what Juan had when we
Originally? All right, so
operated,
let me
yeah,
head
the
to the
original.
office. I think they're still sitting on the coffin. There's a couple of them, but majority of folks. So I think there'd only be like 3 or 4. The ones right at the end would be the ones that perhaps those listings weren't thrown in. So I think Kim, you're probably one of them.
If it's helpful, I have mine.
Yeah, I know you have yours, Jessica. Anyone that got it in the first round, so those first 9 would have their listings. But let me head into the office.
okay, let me backtrack on why it's important. The thing is, you're supposed, well, like any copy assignments, you're supposed to have, you know, whatever belongs to you guys, to the supervisor. The problem with June area, and luckily it's much easier than when we first started, because there was 3 levels at when we started. There's 2 levels of assignments for each segment. There's the segment level assignment, which is that, if I remember right, it's the gray bar for the segment, that it will have the number for the segment, and it will have that, I was gonna say it's the acreage check portion, in which you're gonna check that all the tracks are completed, like your track count card matches your tracks completed, and the digitized acres are within 10% of what you're reporting. That's the segment level questionnaire. Then there's the tracks. The tracks will be for all the previous segments. It will have all the tracks that we have kept for that segment. Any new segment, remember we talked about this before, will not have any tracks. We left them blank slate so you can start. But the problem is this, and we're trying to consolidate all the problems we had with this part. It's that your segment and track have to be assigned to the same enumerator, have to be assigned to the same supervisor. If there's any discrepancy on that, the supervisor may see the segment level, or an enumerator may see the segment level, but the tracks may be assigned to somebody else. And if that happens, when the enumerator who has the segment may start adding tracks, it may go to track A, B, C, D, although it's an old segment, because the copy instrument do not see any other track, okay? Because they are right now on somebody else, some other enumerator. So then when you try to combine all that, it's gonna be overlays on the number of tracks, the tracks are not gonna match, and all that stuff. So we're trying to fix all those problems right now. So one thing to instruct your enumerators, once you have made your assignments, maybe it would be good if you tell us who do you assign the segments, so we can go back and make sure that the segment and the tracks are assigned to that enumerator. We try to run a program that says, please match the segment enumerator ID, segment supervisor ID to what the tracks are, and we try to fix all that. But it would be good if you give us that and we go and check. And the other thing is to tell your enumerators that where this will happen, it will be on previous segments. So if they have the screeners have all the tracks that are assigned to that segment. So when they open copy and they look at that segment, they should have the same number of tracks that they have on the screener. Make sense? Because the screener has the total number of tracks that are supposed to be there, either non-ag, PIGA, or ag tracks. So you should have the same number of tracks, the same letters that are on the screener within each segment. So one thing to tell them is like, you assign, it's going to be hard for us. It's going to be hard for you because there's like, you may have 30 segments, but if you assign them to your enumerator, tell them, okay, you have 3 segments, open each segment and count the number of tracks that show on copy and make sure they're the same as your screener. And if there's any discrepancy, we can fix that ourselves much easier than you guys, because we don't know where that track could be. It could be that it's unassigned. It could be that it's assigned to another enumerator, and you cannot have partial segments floating around between enumerators or between supervisors. Does that make sense? Yes, yes, yes. No, no, no.
All right. So do you want us to email you, Juan and Dennis, then with our complete list and have them just check and
Sure.
make sure?
And maybe you don't have to send me the whole list, but if you have your enumerator, you would have sorted the assignments, have them check. If you assign somebody 3 segments, have them say, okay, check your segment package, compare your copy listing, what you're seeing on June area, with your screener. And if it's the same, then we don't need to worry about that segment.
Okay.
That
And mine
segment
were
is fine.
yesterday was fixed.
Yes. And if it's a new
Yeah.
segment, remember, you're not going to see any copy, no tracks, and that's fine. So it's more like on the all segments that your tracks should match the screener. If there's any problem, then we need to fix. Like right now, I know that I encountered problems with 3 supervisors, and we fixed 2 of those. I need to work one on bills, and I need to work one with Pat Brown's segments, because I haven't done those yet. But once I fix those, the only problem would be that she has a new enumerator that has not been added to copy. And I think that's something we can do very simple, as long as we have the enumerator ID. Anybody can go and create a an account for a copy account, and then we will be able to assign that segment. But I'm just saying, I mean, if we start work or data collection, or even screener, and it does not match what is on the screener, we're going to create a lot of trouble. Because once you start adding tracks, the system is not going to know what copy tracks that segment already has. And it may just start adding A, B, C, and they could be sitting on somebody else's copy instrument.
Hey, Juan, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
It's a specialized question. Remember one of the maps were sent to another supervisor by mistake, and it was now.
Oh yeah, it's on the way, Jerry.
Yeah, that's good. That's my question is that going to affect what you're just talking about?
No, because hopefully you have the segment package, correct? You may have the segment already, not the photo, but you may have the segment package that has the screener, the maps, the printed
Yes,
maps,
I
and
do.
all that stuff. So you can check if you already assign it and distribute that. You can check or have your enumerator check the copy, what shows on the enumerator copy.
It was that was a new map. So it's
Oh, if it's a
140165.
if it's a
Yeah.
brand new map, all you have to make sure is that you have one line it's a segment level line, and it's assigned to one of your enumerators. Or
Yeah,
to
so,
yourself
yeah,
right now.
the segment, in the CAPI instrument, the segment level is like in a different shade and.
Correct,
and
correct,
the
correct.
track at the, yeah, okay, I
Yes,
got it, yeah.
and
yeah.
on and all it's gonna say, if you look at the point, it may have just a segment number. I'm trying to remember again. I haven't looked at copy in the last couple of days, but the segment or the point is gonna be the segment number. On the tracks, it's gonna be a track number 9-digit that starts with 10000 whatever, and it may say track 01, track 02, whatever. But if it's a new segment, you will not have any tracks.
Okay, got it, thank you.
You're just gonna start brand new and start doing add tracks and start going from there.
Okay, got it, thank you.
So just to get this right, because when you go on CAPI, you can see the segment number and who it's assigned to, and then the tracks and who they're assigned to. So we can just check that, and as long as they all match, we're good to go and don't need to send you anything.
Correct. I would say if you look at the screener, I mean, if you open a copy and you as a supervisor are looking, you know how you on the left-hand side, you're gonna have the three little people and you click on an enumerator. But you may not have the screener. If you have the screener, you can do it. If not, you're gonna have your enumerator to check. But you can check on that person's assignments, the segments they have and the tracks they have under each segment. And as long as it match, then we're good. I don't need to know anything. That means that that segment is correctly assigned to supervisor and enumerator, and we're fine.
Okay, good, we're fine.
We just want to make sure we don't have tracks split among supervisors or tracks split among enumerators, or just unassigned.
Okay.
Because they may start working, and if like we found partial segments, like 5 tracks would be assigned to the right enumerator, 2 tracks were not even assigned, so they're floating around and we need to make sure that they match.
Okay, we're good, we're good.
Okay, so yeah, that's the main thing right now. I mean, I think CAPI has not changed from the last couple of years, and I think last year and the previous year we did very good. So I don't think we'll have, the first year was a big problem, having to reactivate and delete tracks and all that stuff. We didn't have that much problem last year. But again, if you add a track and you want to make a change, you can reactivate those. Any all segments, if you're making change to that track, it may be easier just to delete the track.